about everything.
It's the Clippers in this. City of Angels for a little interconference action here at the Staples Center. Bringing you the NBA here on 2K Sports with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. This is Kevin Harlan. Welcome, everyone. So let's take a look at the Boston Celtics starting lineup. Rondo, Allen, and Pierce for the perimeter. Brandon Bass is out there with Garnett. And for the Clippers, Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan, they're inside. Nick Young is out there with Chris Paul. And it's Butler in at the 3.
You know, guys, I think the Celtics actually came into the playoffs last season with a little less swagger than usual. I mean, losing Kendrick Perkins in a trade seemed to shake them up a little bit. And with Shaq really unable to contribute due to injuries, a team used to being big inside perhaps felt a little smaller.
You set the table there well with the Celtics and their injuries that did play a role in the postseason, not just in the front court. The dislocated elbow of Rajon Rondo also factored in. Steve, that was a huge hit for that team.
Yeah, I was amazed that he was able to return in that game and continue to play the rest of the series, but it did limit him. And with Rondo slowed down, the Celtics had a tough time scoring. In fact, Miami really played him in Boston kind of 5-on-4. They didn't honor his offense, and it really cost Boston.
Now we'll go to Doris Burke, who had a chance to talk with head coach Doc Rivers.
Kevin, he said that no matter how things pan out offensively for them, they're a smart enough team defensively to stay in it. He said, quote, "My guys know how to force their shooters into bad shots and turn defense into offense for us. We'll see how that goes, guys."
Great stuff, Doris. Thanks. That's a mantra, Clark, we're going to hear, I think, a lot from coaches. Defense first.
Yeah, you hear it all the time, Kevin, and that's the identity they want to have today, and I think it'll work for them as long as they execute it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's one thing to say it, but you got to bring it. And I think this team has to show great energy and aggression early on if they're going to win this game.
Here's Pierce after Caron Butler's bucket. 6 on the shot clock. Pass. A second chance effort. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play. That free throw good from Allen.
Ray Allen is such a talented player. Had those early years in Seattle where he was brilliant. But in Boston, he really found a role on a great team.
It's tipped. Lets it go with a 3. He gets the bucket. Allen's got 6. Like, you know, when you talk about the Celtics defining Allen's role a bit more, and that's what good teams do, isn't it? Clearly define roles for players even better ones like Ray Allen.
Kevin, you're exactly right. And, you know, Ray became a much more consistent defender for the Celtics. I mean, you see that, and as you define roles, you can rein players in, and in some aspects, you can push them to do more in other areas. I think we saw it with Doc Rivers and Paul Pierce. From an offensive standpoint, encouraging him to be more of a playmaker and facilitator than just a bucket producer.
Well, and the bounce pass was the key to the play. That's just horrible decision. You got to be more patient with the ball.
Here's Paul. He cans that one. And this game is tied up now.
Nice touch near the hoop.
Out of bounds. They'll keep possession. So for the Clippers, Martin comes in for Reggie Evans. And it's Foy in for Nick Young. Here's Rondo. And taken away by Paul.
Excellent anticipation. As soon as that pass was in the air, he was on the move and picked it up.
That's what he does. Attack the heart of the defense and get straight to the rim. Now, the Clippers are such a young, exciting team. And last season, they went 23-18 at home at the Staples Center. This is a team with a very bright future, and they'd like to establish that home court.
And the Celtics making a change here. Here's Paul. And here are the Clippers. They're rolling here with a 9-point run. For those Los Angeles fans, Clark, the emergence of Blake Griffin as a superstar has to be a cause for celebration. Steve talked about their winning record at home, over 500. I've got this team circled. What about you?
Yeah, I do too, and part of the reason is the guy in the middle. I mean, there's a feeling this team is only going to get better, and Griffin may quickly become LA's most dominant basketball player. He's certainly already perhaps the most hyped and closing in on maybe as popular as Kobe Bryant in some circles.
He's something else.
Yeah, he's special to us.
And the Clippers have possession after Paul Pierce's score.
3 straight buckets in the paint. They're making it look effortless.
Well, speaking of effortless, we'd like to see a little more out of the defense. So how about trying, guys?
There's a minute 47 left to play here in the first. Gathers. A shot by Rondo is no good.
Similarities between Rivers the coach and Doc Rivers the player. I mean, he had the height to play shooting guard, but was the most valuable running the show as the point guard.
Down low, it's stolen by Martin. The Clippers in the lead. Launches a 3. The shot by Paul, no good.
He's jacked up a number of threes, but his accuracy has been lacking. Time to try something different, if you ask me.
Great point, Clark, on Rivers. You know, the teams that he has coached, Orlando and Boston, really embody him. Steve, they all play smart, tough defensively, well coached up and down.
Yeah, it is interesting how teams kind of take on their coach's personality, and that's definitely been the case with Boston and Doc Rivers. He was a player, he was tough, he was smart, he was competitive, and it sure shows in the way his Boston teams have played the last few years. Well, we all know Rajon Rondo is among the fastest players in the NBA, but he's really the only Celtic who wants to get out and run. This is more of a half-court team. And in fact, Boston finished in the bottom 10 in the league in fast break points.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. DeAndre Jordan comes in for Blake Griffin. And Nick Young is subbed in for Caron Butler. Jordan kicks to Paul. Now Pierce defending. From deep. And it's Foy missing. And Steve, you're talking about the Celtics and their slower pace, bottom 10 in fast break points. I guess that's often the case for more veteran teams. They don't want to get into a track meet.
Yeah, I think they've got to be more efficient in terms of how they massage offensive possessions. I mean, you look at Rondo, who is an absolute burner, but the rest of the starting unit probably better suited to a half-court game. And it'll be interesting seeing how the Celtics go forward because Rondo moving into his prime and obviously more effective in an up-and-down game. Will the Celtics acquiesce to who he is and what his best type of game is as they go forward?
It's good defense. Don't let a guy get a lay-in, foul hard, and send him to the free throw line.
Yeah, I like that billboard there. Sending a message. You can't come in here and get anything free in our paint. Could have had more there, but at least he made it a 2-possession game.
The basket's coming early and often in the first quarter. The Clippers on top. And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. Celtics trail by 5. And now brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. So for the Clippers right now, Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan, they're inside. Mo Williams out there at 4. And it's Young in at the 3, the small forward. Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Hey, Kevin, well, the Clippers traded away their first-round pick last season to the Cavs. At the time, because the draft was not supposed to be that great, they didn't think too highly of it, saying they didn't see anyone they particularly thought of that high in the draft. But it ended up being the #1 overall selection. We'll see how that pick pans out over the next several years, guys.
Great. Thanks for the report, Doris.
You know, it certainly isn't paying off in the short term.
Well, obviously, you know, after the fact, you say, well, they should have kept the pick. They'd either have Derek Williams or Kyrie Irving right now, but it's too late now. And at the time, they were just trying to save money, and they felt like they had...
Oh! Ho, ho! It's all knotted up.
But maybe the play of the game right there.
An alley-oop slam is always going to be at the top of the list there, Clark.
Yeah.
You're right.
That's one of my favorite plays in basketball, guys.
Great positioning on the putback. Allen against Jordan. Baseline J on the way. Again, Allen missing.
Well, the sweet shooting Ray Allen last year set the record for most three-pointers made in a career. Really just a testament to how dedicated he's been to the craft of shooting the ball.
Bass with Griffin's there. And Jordan sends it back. Clippers leading by 4. Shots good from Young. Young's got 5 now.
No prettier shot than the finger roll, smooth and beautiful. It's a joy to see.
And Clark, for Ray Allen, not only has he made a lot of threes, he has been tremendously accurate. Steve, he's one of only 40 players in league history to shoot over 40% from distance for his career.
And it's not just the percentage, Kevin. It's the number of clutch shots he hits. It's the range. It's his ability to get a shot even on his own. He's not just a spot-up guy. He can score in so many different ways. One of the great shooting guards of all time, really.
Celtics trail by 4. And there's the rejection. And the Clippers have possession. They lead by 4. Nice shot by 4. Here is Rondo looking for his first bucket of the game.
Well, the Clippers made so much improvement last year, but one area they struggled, they only went 13 and 17 against the weaker Eastern Conference. So that's a number they'd like to improve upon this year.
Three-pointer, Pietrus, and that one's good. Pietrus has got 7 points for the quarter.
He is really having a good quarter, a strong quarter, an efficient quarter, doing a lot of positive things out there.
We talk about those Eastern Conference teams and making those road trips to the West. Even the Clippers were not an easy opponent to play for them.
No, not at all. I mean, the Clippers might have been a Cinderella playoff team if they were in the East. I mean, with that 23-18 home record. The West has so much talent. Top to bottom, it's on display every night.
And the first one drops.
Well, you look at the Celtics a season ago, they went 23 and 18 on the road, and well, that would be a good mark for most teams. That was Boston's worst road record in the last 4 years.
Here's what the Clippers are going with right now. Kenyon Martin, he's checked in for DeAndre Jordan. Butler comes in for Nick Young. And it's Paul in for Mo Williams. For 3, Dooling gets it to go. Steve just talking about that Celtics road record. You think, Clark, that is something to be concerned about, 23 and 18 away?
Kevin, you know, probably not. I mean, on their overall record, they gained 6 wins from the previous season. If there's any concern for the Celtics, it's probably the question of age and how much do the big 3 have left in the tank. But it is interesting when you think about it. Last year, when they felt, the year before rather, when they got to the NBA Finals, they didn't feel concerned about not having home court advantage in the Eastern Conference because they had been so good on the road.
Sure.
So that could have maybe put a little chink in their armor in last season's playoff.
We'll see if they want to trade 2 for 1 here.
Well, you got to time up the clock. It's easier said than done, but you got to execute your offense on that first possession.
Fellas, they are heating up from outside now.
Yep, of their last 5 hoops, 3 of them have come from long range.
Paul. Out of bounds. And they'll keep possession. A different look for the Clippers. DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Griffin. Eric Bledsoe is subbed in for Randy Ford. And for the Celtics, Brandon Bass is checked in for Garnett. Pietrus comes in for Ray Allen. Rajon Rondo is subbed in for Keon Dooling.
This just has not been his day so far.
Tipped. Tries a three. The shot by Rondo is no good. Here comes Bledsoe. Here's Paul. Makes good on the step-back jumper. Paul's got 4 points this quarter.
Great shot.